Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of a situation with Mint Fantome, and a clip of her and Dokibird has been going pretty viral, and it's been getting quite a bit of hate from Niji Sisters and Nijisanji fans and all of this kind of stuff. But yeah, so Niji Sisters are crashing out at Mint again after she talked about Nijisanji's slow visa application process. So this is the clip. We'll play the clip, and then obviously we will talk about what some of the responses and what people have been saying about this, because it is pretty crazy.
I don't know. I don't think I'll do it though. I think I've tried to move to Japan. I've like back in 2020, I got a job in Japan, and then
I remember that.
yeah, and I was gonna go, and
then
they ghosted me. And then I got another job.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh yeah, we'll give you a visa for Japan."
And then
they only started doing that after I left.
I remember too. Yeah, because you were like, "What's the update?" And it wasn't even for you, too. Yeah, because you were asking for it, and then when they finally started the process, it wasn't even for you.
No. And I remember too, because I was just like, oh, I got this other job in Japan. I could go for it because I really want to move over there. So would you be able to do that? Because I'm turning down another job for your job.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, and then you waited. And then you're like, hey, remember what? Then I asked about that visa thing. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're trying to work on it. And then you find out it wasn't even for you.
I know. Yeah. And now it's for everybody else.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Your visa's gonna get approved. The moment you unpack, I feel it.
Oh, thank you, Doki.
Yeah.
You're my good luck charm.
I know. I hope it happens the exact moment you put down the last item too.
So yeah, that's essentially the conversation that they had about the visas in Japan and the fact that she had a job, and they said they'd get her a visa in Japan, and then she talks about another job about getting a visa in Japan, and that they told her that she would be able to get one before even like kind of, you know, accepting the job, and that she turned down another job for this job. And obviously we all know that the job that she's talking about was nijisanji, right? The second job that she talked about. And many people were not so happy because, of course, you know, people have been bringing up the fact that this was in 2020, which, if you guys don't know, obviously that was the big virus thing, right? Which, of course, plagued everybody. And there was, yeah, this whole thing of countries would be shutting down. Japan specifically was shutting down, like, heavily, right? They were, you know, it's a very Japanese thing to do, to not let anybody outside in, right? They've been very, you know, known for that, especially in history, right? And they kind of did the same thing with COVID, right? They kind of shut down everything, and they wouldn't let people come in, and they've only started to you know, let people in over the past couple of years or so, as things have calmed down, right? But I think what a lot of people are also missing is the fact that, you know, during this time, she says that she spoke to Nijisanji and said that, hey, I'm turning down a job, and then saying like, you know, you guys can definitely do this, right? And then they say yes, right? When obviously I'm assuming, and like, again, I don't know exactly the timeframes on this. Maybe, you know, she was talking to them before all of the, you know, pandemic stuff happened. I'm not sure. But, you know, I'm assuming it's around the same time as all the pandemic stuff was going on. So they would know that they were not able to do that, right? So again, it does kind of confuse me that obviously they would tell her like, yes, we can do this, when you can't do this, right? Or maybe at least say, yes, we can do this, but you're gonna have to wait a couple of years whenever, you know, this all ends, right? And it could be a couple of years, it could be a couple of months or whatever, or maybe as well, it could be really early on. And this is also where I give the benefit of the doubt to them. Maybe it was really early on, and they thought it was only gonna last like a couple of weeks or months, and obviously it ended up lasting a lot longer than many people thought it would do. So that could also be another kind of factor to it. Now, of course, as I said, she's been getting a lot of hate for this, and of course, here are some of the comments that people have specifically pointed out over on the subreddit. Saying, thank God she left. Saying, what an insane, lame ass blank you have to be jealous of your coworkers for getting the same opportunities as you. You are 30 years old and still act like 18. And I don't even like that company either. But this is behavior so corny, and Doki is a loser too. So yeah, obviously some people were mad at that. Now again, there was also that factor as well of people saying, of her saying that apparently they actually were working on visas at one point. They did eventually do it, right? Through whatever circumstance that might have been, but they weren't actually working on it for her. Now, again, I do think that is pretty interesting too, because of course, you know, that was one of the main kind of topics whenever she joined, right? That was one of the main topics that she wanted. That was one of the main benefits that she wanted for joining. That's the reason she turned down another job, was so that she could get this visa. And obviously, as soon as they were able to do it, so, you know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, say they weren't able to do it because of the pandemic and all of this kind of stuff, right? But as soon as they were able to do it, as it seems like they were for other people, they didn't do hers, which obviously was, it's interesting, right? Because again, surely the person that you've promised, you know, hey, you know, we'll get it done and whatever, should be at the top of the list for, you know, sorting that out, right? So again, you know, I think it is pretty interesting. Say, this clip is rubbing me the wrong way because why are you complaining about your visa not getting approved when Japan literally had them suspended and restricted? Now it's for everyone else. Everybody knows, everybody literally moved there from like 2025 onwards. Like, is that, are they still engaging in hate marketing against the company they quit? It's just pathetic. I'm saying, yeah, keep making these kind of digs and see who ends up like a mess. So yeah, interesting, right? A lot of people not happy whatsoever with that. Saying, I think former EN livers should be careful about using the move on from the past argument. It will keep doing things that says otherwise. I hope they know how privileged and stuck up they sound by complaining about something that was hard to do in 2023, 2024. They have a monthly quota to fill. Like, insult money and attention, not enough, I guess. And obviously a lot of people were saying, like, essentially, you know, you guys said you wanted to move on from this, from the whole nijisanji stuff, but you're still taking digs at them or whatever, which of course, you know, that's what some people have been bringing up. Again, I think they're, you know, free to discuss, you know, previous incidents or whatever in the past without it being like some big thing. But of course, it usually will be due to how big, you know, a lot of these topics were, especially with Dokibird as well. And the Dokibird situation was so big, right? Saying, no, hey, I think they genuinely just didn't understand the visa process and how it was affected by COVID. The same way one of them didn't understand that stuff usually not available on Christmas Day. It's all misunderstandings that have escalated too far. So yeah, obviously we read that one. Say, I'm sorry, but she graduated in early 2024, so she already contemplated graduation in mid to late 2023, and we all know that was during COVID recovery period. Especially Japan was extremely strict with giving out visas. There's a reason why you see a corporate talents mass moving to Japan Post. So yeah, I mean, it is sorry, Japan Post 2024. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because they're saying, like, essentially they only started it after they were doing it after like she was gone or whatever, I'm pretty sure, which is interesting. But again, I don't know. So 2 issues with this: your fellow talents have been extremely patient with the visa process and eventually got it, but you can't do the same. Visa applications are long and hard. I don't know if you know. Hilarious to see clippers like this and not getting the reaction that they wanted. So yeah, that was also you know, something else that people are getting upset about, was the fact that, you know, they think that they're going essentially after like their fellow, you know, VTubers and stuff within the agency for getting that opportunity, which I don't think they're trying to do. I don't think that was their kind of, you know, it's a bit stupid to make it seem like, oh, you know, they're trying to not downplay, like go after the other VTubers for getting their visas early or whatever. No. I think they're just kind of a little bit confused about how the company had structured it. And again, I know all of them, you know, wanted to get those visas and whatever. And I don't know how, you know, urgent a lot of them wanted them. Seems like Min wanted it pretty urgently and she didn't end up getting it pretty urgently. So I'm unsure on what all the other VTubers maybe had said in the past. Maybe they also had a visa to Japan, like very high up on their list. So again, potentially that could be why she was so low down on the list in terms of you know, getting this sorted out. But you know, I think it's just more so down to communication. It'll be interesting to see, you know, when exactly she was told that you know, that they could do it and that they could get her a visa. Because if it was during the COVID time, obviously they would know that they wouldn't be able to do it as quickly as maybe, you know, like next week or whatever, right? So you know, it is one of those things where it'd be interesting to see when this was discussed and yeah, that would kind of make things make a little bit more sense, right? But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.